Hey, what's up, y'all? Today, I'm gonna show y'all how I do that fire baked lemon pepper chicken. We're gonna also do some baked potatoes, which are in the oven, and we're gonna do some cornbread because I'm cooking cornbread for a family event, a big pan of cornbread, but I'm gonna cook a small pan for the house. So let's get going. I got this chicken right here. I usually buy my chicken in bulk. I think I bought about 20 or 30 pounds of this, and I just break it up in bags like this, which is about 4 to 5 pounds in each bag. So I'm gonna go on ahead and get ready and start cleaning this chicken up. So I'm gonna let y'all see that. All right, y'all see that chicken right there? That's that clean chicken. Look at that right there. So let me show y'all another piece. That clean chicken, ain't a feather in sight or anything like that. So we got this chicken in this pan. Like I said, this is about 5 pounds of chicken. It's baked chicken, so we don't have to worry about crowding the pot. Now let's go ahead and get started. I got the oven preheated. All right, y'all, we got our chicken in this pan right here. So the first thing we're gonna do is take any oil you got. I'm gonna use some vegetable oil today because this is what oh shoot, let me rinse that off. Because this is what I got. It's some vegetable oil, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that. Usually I like to use either olive oil or grapeseed oil on this. You just want to keep the chicken moist like that and make sure it doesn't stick. Not too much. I just used a couple caps. And I'm gonna go ahead and just mix all this in. This that fire chicken right here, trust me. This is it right here. This is the chicken you make and take to parties, or you're going to have some company over, or whatever you're going to do. This is the chicken right there. All right. So the seasonings we're going to use today, we're going to use some of this Bayou seasoning. I like that. That's a real good seasoning. This is real good for lemon pepper chicken. Then we're going to use, regular garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, parsley. And that's it. And we're going to get this going. All right. So let's go. Let's start seasoning. First seasoning I'm going to put on, let's go with the Bayou. And you want to use as much of that as you like without over seasoning because it can get a little salty. It's not as salty as Tony's. Not as salty as Tony's at all. All right. Then we're going to go in with the lemon pepper. You don't want to use that Bayou. Sometimes I just use salt. You could use salt, lemon pepper. But I just felt like bringing a different flavor with that lemon pepper today, kind of a Cajun flavor. You know how that is. Sometimes being in the kitchen is an art. All right, we got garlic powder. And this is some fire chicken right here. You're going to think you was at a restaurant, you mess with this. Onion powder going down on there. I'm going to use this paprika. I ain't got a whole lot left in there. I'm going to use what's left. See if I got some more somewhere. Ready. Have you some backup seasonings in case you run out, or a backup plan. All right, so we're going to paprika this up so we get a nice good color on there. I'm going to take that parsley because we want it to be pretty. We're going to put that parsley right across the top. And we're going to mix all this in, and it's going to all come together. All right, don't be scared of that seasoning. As long as you ain't using a lot of salt, you good. All right, so you want to mix all this up. Do this just like that. Mix it up. My kids love this chicken. And one thing I'm going to say is, when you're cooking for your kids and stuff like that and sending the meals to school, I noticed once I started cooking for my older son and got him up off that school food and started letting him take his own lunch, grades went through the roof. I'm talking about grades went through the roof. So those old people might have been mad. Might have been right about saying everything starts with the stomach. Hey, once I started doing that, my son, he graduated on honor roll last week after years and years of being on honor roll. So look at that chicken. Let me bring y'all over there. All right, so y'all see we got that chicken in there. It's just about ready to go in. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of water. The reason I'm adding this water is because you want a good juice at the bottom and you don't want it to stick. All right, so we're gonna add just a little bit of water. We're not gonna let it swim in there. Just enough to add just enough to have you a good little juice. And you can look at this chicken, at the seasoning on there, and tell it's gonna be good. If you know food, you can look at pre-cooked food and tell if it's gonna be good just by the seasoning that is on there. And you see this seasoning? I knocked a little bit off that wing right there, but it'll all come back. All right, so we got that right there. Now we're gonna just cover it It's going in the oven, 375 degrees for an hour. And this is gonna be some fire lemon pepper chicken right here. I'll do this recipe, right? Potatoes should be coming out shortly. We're gonna throw this in. It's gonna go for an hour. Let me set that timer. Hour. And that's it. See it down there? We're gonna close that. And you see we got that timer set for 59 minutes. All right, at 375. Then I got my potatoes baking. They got about another hour and 23 minutes at 450. Look at that right there. Oh, where's this thing doing? There it is. Look at those potatoes in there cooking. Yeah. All right, let's get this chicken out this oven. Let's check it out and see what we got. Move these out the way. All right, we're gonna check all this out all at the same time. Let's check this chicken out. I know this thing gonna be hot, but I'm gonna still go ahead and remove it. Let's see what we got. All right, so look at that right there. Look at that chicken. That chicken looks good. It's about 3/4 of the way done. But you see, as we look close, what we see in there, we see a whole lot of juice. So what we're gonna do with this juice is, I'm about to show y'all what we're gonna do with this juice. All right, so I'm gonna take some of that juice in there and I'm gonna pour it in here and I'm gonna baste the chicken with it. Now, if you're gonna make you some gravy, you can use this broth. Sometimes I freeze it and save it. I don't know if I'm gonna freeze it today or not, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just pour it over the chicken. And then we're gonna throw this chicken back in the oven, uncovered. I'm not gonna pour all of it on there. I'm gonna just put a little bit. I'm gonna baste it a quick 2 times. Quick 2 times. Then we're gonna leave just a little bit on there. You could save your broth if you want. I might save mine for some gravy. I don't know. This is lemon pepper. I don't know if I want a lemon pepper gravy. But we're gonna do that right there. And now we're gonna get this chicken brown. I'm gonna take some paprika. We're gonna just sprinkle that paprika across the top. If you want to add a little bit more seasoning, you can. I don't think we need to though. All right, so this is going back in the oven for another 15 to 20 minutes. Hey y'all, look at this lemon pepper baked chicken right here. That's what I'm talking about. Look how good that looks. Look at the juice at the bottom. That's what I'm talking about. Right, let me get a piece of this chicken so I can show y'all what I'm talking about. Look at this chicken. Look how tender that chicken is. Look how it came apart right there. Mmm. Mmm, mmm, mmm. That chicken is good. Mmm. My son loves this chicken. And I see why. Because it show is good. Mmm. I'm gonna fell on the floor. Anyway, we outro. Do that. You know how yours came out.